These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All three pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
If you're looking to get serious in sim racing, one of the first things to do is upgrade your wheelbase and pedals. The powerful force feedback in our direct drive wheelbase makes a huge difference, and our highly adjustable precision pedals will give you the consistency you need to improve. So you'll not only get the best value for your money, but you'll also benefit from our quick, local shipping from Australia and save even more. Our transparent pricing has GST included, so there's no nasty surprises at checkout or further customs delays and charges. And if you're near Melbourne, you can simply pick up your hardware from our showroom and get a free product walkthrough from one of our VRS coaches. We offer excellent customer service after the sale, and our hardware is made of the highest quality components. To get yours today, just go to the URL on the screen or click on the button below. But hurry, stock is always limited due to high demand. So if you want to get faster, sooner, VRS is your answer.
Side gunning for a goal, 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire, fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat train time. When the lights go green, we light the sky. Let's light it up. Let's light it up.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into Infinity Broadcasting, and welcome in to the IRWC presents the Rod Knott Cup for round 2 of our playoffs here this evening. We're in for the Super 7 as we will cut down 7 drivers into 4 before the final round next week out at Talladega, and we come into tonight to the wonderful, the gorgeous, the brand new Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez to be able to knock out 3 and get to the final 4. Hamish Munro here with you, bringing all the action through sight and sound, as always, right here on the Infinity Broadcasting channel. It has been a long and treacherous season for a lot of drivers, and a road course challenge to end out the long portion of the season is going to offer a big test tonight. We are running the National Circuit of Mexico City, the same circuit in which we saw earlier in the year for the NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series, where Shane Van Gisbergen ended up taking the win that weekend. It's a tough circuit. It's a treacherous circuit. It's one that's been infamous in Formula One fans' minds for quite a long time, and has more than recently now become infamous with NASCAR fans as well, just south of the border of the USA, of course in the capital city of Mexico, in the central part of the North America. This is going to be a big test, though, tonight. We've seen the sort of carnage that can be brought from the road courses through Chicago and Sonoma and now into Mexico City tonight. As I said, only 4 will leave in contention for the championship heading into Talladega next week, and it is going to be a tough task for anyone else to try and jump up into the 4 from the 5th, 6th and 7th seeds after tonight's event. Let's have a quick look at how we currently stand coming into tonight's race in terms of championship standings. Angus Lawford, Kurt Chapman, David Lawler, Jack Anderson. They are currently the top 4 seeded drivers in the field. Harry Dodds is equal 4th at the moment with Jack Anderson, but by way of Jack having a stage point in the playoffs, he's etched into the top 4 just ahead of Doddsy. Then it's Jordan Ferguson, Logan Howard equal on 1,500 points after the points reset last week, thanks to us being now in the chase. So Ferguson and Howard have got some work to do tonight. If they really want to be in contention and get into the top 4, plus be in contention next week at Dega, they're going to have to try and get themselves a stage and a race win tonight to try and get their points up just a little bit. But, of course, when we get out to Dega, it will be 2,000 points for everybody. That will be the reset as we head into the final round next week. So for Angus Lawford, all he has to do tonight is stay within a points-winning position. He cannot afford to drop 21 points to Harry Dodds or Jack Anderson. If he drops 21 points to both of them, he could get knocked out of the top 4. With only 7 cars on track tonight, though, that's less likely to happen. And by the time we get to the stage end, that may be the ticker for him to be knocked out after tonight's, or for him to remain, in the final 4 after tonight's race. Of course, last week we saw the knocking out of Ash DeVries, who was racing last week. Johnny Rowe never made it, neither did Jake Edwards. They were knocked out as well by way of that. This is now going to be tough for some drivers going forward. It's going to be tough for them to really maximise their efforts. I have just noticed that I made an error on the standings. Alex Mateus should not have been on 1,005 points. That should have been Dylan Shepherd, so I do apologise. But everyone is now under a bit of pressure. Everyone is now trying to resituate themselves as they get prepared for tonight's race. The 7 are here, and it will be a fight between all of them to try and make their way through. Most likely to make the top 4 at this stage, well, it's Angus Lawford and Kurt Chapman. Lawford, of course, on 22 points ahead of the 1,500. Chapman 5 ahead of the 1,500. Lawler is still under pressure with there being 3 drivers that could jump him into the top 4. And Anderson and Dodds, well, they've got the same amount of chance of being in there. Ferguson and Howard with the least amount of chance of being. They are on the reset 1,500 points coming into tonight's race, of course. Let's have a quick look at the calendar. This is where we've been this season. Mexico City tonight, the 21st of November, on what is the beginning of our final week of racing here in the IRWC for this season. We've only got 1 round to go after tonight for the Rod Knott Cup. We will get through both of our final rounds of the VRS Porsche Cup Series this weekend as well. So by next Friday, we will be into break mode. We'll be into holiday mode prior to the beginning of next season, and a calendar will be set for the Rod Knott Cup for us to reveal next week when we open up the sign-ups for next season as well. Plus a sneaky little announcement to be made next week too. Maybe we will announce it tonight. Who knows? I'll have to ask Jack as well. It's great to have everyone in the chat with us too tonight. It's going to be a fun night of racing as qualifying is about to begin for these drivers. Of course, we've got Brendan Griffiths out there at Project 36. Let's get ready to rumble here tonight for the second last round of the season. Rhiannon in the chat as well. Welcome back yourself, Hamish. Welcome back, Hamish. Joe Dyson in the chat too. Morning, Hamish. Morning, chat. Rhiannon, morning. Hope you're all well. And great to have everyone out here tonight with us, joining us in the chat too. So we appreciate your time being here with us as well. Lone qualifying. So drivers are they've got to try and reap the benefits now of having the track to themselves and try and situate themselves in a prim and proper position coming into tonight's event. Of course, Jack Anderson, who missed 3 rounds of the season due to being overseas, has found himself currently in the final 4. But he has to beat Dodsey here tonight to lock himself in. That's the aim for Anderson, is just beat Dodds. That's all he has to do. If Dodds is beating him, then he's got to try and beat Lawler, to knock Lawler out. Those are the major cases. Those are the main drivers he needs to focus on. And what it would mean is if Anderson were to get in with Chapman and with Lawford and say Lawler or Dodds make it, it'll be a very similar scenario to real-life supercars. It'll be 2 drivers in the same team versus 2 other drivers from 2 different teams. So it'll be a big test going into the final round. But qualifying has begun. First laps are getting underway. And right now, Anderson is looking to set the pace early as we run down towards turn 1 for the first time. This is the first initial test of this lap. Under brakes, you've got to perfect it into turn 1, and Ando has lost it on the first attempt. So he'll have to reset, come back around, and he's only going to have one chance now to finalize a qualifying lap out of himself. He's got one more lap to do it, so he resets to pits. He'll use this lap now as a warm-up, and he'll have to get it done on his second attempt. Kurt Chapman could possibly set one up. Ferguson's made a mistake in qualifying as well. Lawford's only just coming through the chicane. Dodds is up and around the national corner of the circuit as well. Howard's further up the road. Lawler's a bit further back too, so I think Howard is Howard going to be the first one to set? Yeah, Howard's going to be the first one to set a lap. So we'll follow Logan Howard, who missed the last few rounds of the season prior to the playoffs beginning. Of course, made last week knowing that he was in the playoffs and raced his way to remain inside of the top 7. So through the stadium section he comes. What sort of lap time can Logan Howard, the Kiwi, throw down? The only Kiwi in the field in the playoffs positions. He'll come across the line. And the lap time, will it count for him? It hasn't counted. He's gotten an off-track summary. No, it has counted, sorry. It's taking its time. It was a 132.001. Dodds has gone P2 with a 132.26. A mistake from Chapman means he's had to reset on that lap. Lawford now up towards the start-finish line. What is the lap time going to look like for the champion-elect? It's a 130.59. Dominant performance from him in qualifying. David Lawler has not set a time either. Jordan Ferguson is about to come round now to start his next lap. He actually technically hasn't started his first lap, but he's just made a mistake into the stadium section. And I think Ando's given up at this point. He's doing doughies in the back end of the circuit. So for Chapman, he's got some work to do in qualifying now to situate this car into a better position on the grid at the moment. Round in the chat, even Joe, currently on dinner break at work to catch their seat. You've got to try, and you know, everyone's coming in to watch. I know we've obviously got the Pro Series, the GT Pro Series on at the moment as well, so I hope you're simulcasting both those series. It's a big weekend for that league. Plus tonight is the finale race for the GT Pros over on SimSpeed out at Bathurst. So you can watch that alongside this. We'll be done before they're finished. Tomorrow we've got qualifying for the supercars. You've got VRS Porsche Cup action as well. Simulcast a lot of different channels as part of the support category of that weekend. You've got the top 15 shootout directly following that too. And then Sunday is the Bathurst 1000. So it's a massive weekend for sim racing. It's a massive weekend for the Pro Series and for us in the IRWC as qualifying comes to an end. So you can catch all of that action across the weekend. You can catch the Porsche Cup action right here on the channel. It will be over on SimSpeed as well, so you can get it all wherever you can find it. So it's going to be a massive weekend too. Brendan Griffiths saying, Ando testing the fire safety crew's response time. It's exactly what he has to do. Priority is here first, then catch the last few laps of them. Thank you so much, Brendan. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Again, though, you know, we're able to watch it both at the same time, although theirs is a much longer race and their performance really matters more at the end of their event. The formation lap is beginning, but nobody's on the grid, so I think the formation has actually started early, and everyone is starting from pit lane, it seems. This is very, very weird, very awkward. I don't know how this has happened. Let me just bring Mr. Ando in with me.
Going upstairs, so see you later.
Hello, Jack Oz.
Whether it was the auto stages or what, but everyone seems to have missed the start.
Yeah, I don't know how
Safety cars just pulled off.
Yeah, I don't know how it's automatically. I didn't press anything, so the formation lap has
I think it might
begun.
be auto stages.
Maybe, yeah.
It's a race to the pits. Le Mans style, obviously.
style
We're all
start.
touching the wall until the safety car.
Yeah, Brendan Griffiths just said in chat, Le Mans
Passes the line.
style start. That's what it is. It's who can get in their car first, I suppose. Someone's not in their car yet, though, in pit lane. It's one of the Project 36 cars. Now they are. Well, this is going to be a very interesting start. I've got no idea where the pace car's gone, mind you. It's at the back end of the circuit, so...
That's alright, we'll find out.
This is very weird.
Yeah.
This is very, very weird. Okay, well, I'll let you go now that we've somewhat figured that out. Best of luck. Saw you doing donuts. They were good donuts. Hopefully you can sort yourself out in the race now after mucking up the
Do
first
you
lap.
want me to throw a yellow?
At the start.
Yeah, so we start properly.
I can try. And let's keep you in here because we'll see if it will work for me. If it works
Well, you
for
might
me,
want to hurry.
I'm just saying if it will let me throw the yellow flag or not.
I think if you do it now, it'll extend... Oh, wait, don't do it yet, because it'll extend the caution otherwise.
Let me find... Where's the... Well, let me select... No, it doesn't let me select the pace car. It's very rude. He's coming in... The pace car's about to come into the third sector. This is enthralling action of the pit lane. Ah. It could only be for us, couldn't it, Jack? Does it let you... If it comes around again, would it let you exit pit lane behind the pace car?
No,
Oh.
because we missed it. So you gotta wait until it's green or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, hopefully it comes
Where
into
is
pit
it?
road. It's just about to come up to the pit exit. Oh, pit entry, sorry. So I'm pretty sure it should... Yeah, it's in now. Okay, so it's in now. So the race starts about to begin from pit lane. This
Yep.
is...
When it goes green, I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's green, so if you want to try it.
Let's see. Did it deploy?
Everyone's filing out in their order anyway.
Yeah.
Is it letting you do it?
I'm about to find out. Nope, for whatever reason it's not letting me deploy the safety car. I don't know why. There we go. Oh, did you
I
do it?
called it.
Okay. Alright, there we go. A very weird and awkward start.
Is it?
Yeah, very, very weird, but that's okay. Alright, I'll let you get back to it. Thank you. Best of luck. See where you end up at the end.
Yeah, we're just in it for the fun. So
Well, we'll see how much fun it can be for you. Appreciate it. Best of luck. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very weird start for us here tonight. I'm unsure how that's happened, to be honest with you, but it has. So the pace car's been deployed. Auto Stages has made it very awkward for us. So Logan Howard is technically the race leader. Angus Lawford is ahead of him on track. He's further back on the timing, at least on my timing. I'm not sure how that works. So caution's been thrown, so we can get a rolling start here. And so we can push on for a proper race start here at Mexico. Pace car will pick them up And we're ready to go racing proper here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Again, appreciate everyone being with us. Wouldn't be the Rod Knott Cup if we didn't have something go astray. So it feels natural for this to be the occurrence of the night, to at least get us started here for Mexico City. So we, it's obviously it's a light-hearted series. It's a series in which we like to have a bit of fun, and one that we hope you guys can have fun watching at home as well. We hope it's one where you can sit back, have a beer, or whatever your beverage of choice may be, or sit back at a, if you're at work and you're able just to throw it on for an hour or so, just to let the time pass. Hope you're able to do that as well, right here on Infinity Broadcasting. And we want to bring you something fun for your Friday night or your Friday early morning. Of course, you're watching over in the US or in Europe, Friday morning as well. And we want to try and help you guys get prepped and ready for the weekend. It's going to be a fun weekend coming up for us in the land of sim racing, of course. As I said, the Pro Series this weekend. Tomorrow night, special start time for the VRS Porsche Cup Series. We'll be going racing out at Bathurst. Qualifying will be beginning at 7, 7:10 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time tomorrow night from Bathurst as a part of the Pro Series Sports Weekend. 2 25-minute races to come your way. Race 1 will begin at 7:25 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Of course, you guys can catch it all by watching through qualifying for the Pro Series Bathurst 1000. You can catch our action, then you can watch, of course, the top 15 shootout for the 1000 straight after the Porsches too. Monday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Myself, Brenton O'Brien, in the booth as well. Final round of the season, the finale round out at Belle Isle to come your way as well. It will be the final time that Belle Isle will be our finale. So it'll be a big send-off for it, as it will be the last time that it will be our final round. It has done its job as its placeholder prior to Adelaide releasing. It'll then retire from that job of being the finale. It'll go into the regular season rotation, and we will welcome in Adelaide for Season 4. So you guys don't want to miss it. All 3 championships are coming down to the wire for the Porsche Cup Series. Next Friday night as well, of course, we're racing out at Talladega for the final round of the Rod Knott Cup as well. What I can say is if you are interested in racing in the Porsche Cups next season, if you've raced this season, or you raced previously and you haven't raced this season, and you want to come back, sign-ups are now live for Season 4 of the VRS Porsche Cup Series. You guys can find it in our Discord on the iRacing World Challenge. If you remember the Discord, you can get signed up. It's $30 Australian, $30 AUD entry fee for next season. The calendar, it looks spectacular. We've had questions whether we should replace Magny Core and bring back in Brands Hatch, which we took out for Adelaide. What I can say is at the moment, we are planning for Brands Hatch next season. And that is what the current plan is. I know I released the graphic last week. Magny Core still on there. It is going to be changed before Monday. We'll be racing at Brands Hatch next season for round 1. So that's what you can expect. The next year's worth of seasons have been planned, by the way. The next year's worth of calendar has been planned for the Porsche Cup Series. And what I can say is there is not many double-ups throughout the whole year. I believe it takes us until Season 4 next year, Season 4 of iRacing, our 7th season of the Porsche Cup Series. It's the first time we get a double-up all of next year, aside from the finale round of Adelaide. A new thing we're bringing in next season is a finale format. The final 2 rounds for the Porsche Cup Series, undroppable. The semi-final will be 2 30-minute races, so our current finale format, 2 30-minute races in the semi-final. The grant with current finale points available, 150 points for a race win in both. The second round of the final series, the grand final, will be 2 40-minute feature races around Adelaide Street Circuit, worth the 40-minute amount of points. 200 points for a race win available in the grand final races. It is going to be a very fun time next season in Season 4. You'll want to be a part of it. If you wish to get involved, you can head over to our Discord, iRacing World Challenge. You can find us over on Facebook at iRacing World Challenge as well. There will be info going up there all throughout the next few weeks about how you can sign up, where you can sign up, and how you can get involved in the Porsche Cup Series next season. It is going to be a great time when we go racing once again in the Porsche Cups. Plus, there's a new Porsche Cup coming, the 992.2. So that's going to be a fun time for all to get involved. And apparently, for a little birdie, I heard we can turn off ABS and traction control in the session settings for the 992.2. So it would mean we can still run fixed setups without that if that's what our drivers prefer. But that will be determined by the drivers and by us as admin as well. Right, we're getting ready to get restarted once again here tonight, or get started proper here tonight with a rolling start. There was a little hiccup there with the pace car, but we are underway and we're ready to go racing. So lap 14/15 should be the stage end tonight for 45% of the race. Pace car will pull away. Angus Lawford will have control of the field. We will go racing for the first time at Autodromo Hermanes Rodriguez. Green flag once again in the Rod Knott Cup Series, and the first green flag lap is lap 4 of 32. Lap 4 of 15 for the first stage. Hot start from Lawford. Dodsey is playing the rear gunner to protect his position. Anderson is up into P3 already, and Dodsey has already gone off track. Dodsey has missed the braking zone completely. He was watching the mirrors. Anderson's off the road as well. What the hell has happened down there? That is big for playoffs contention. Massive, massive implications for playoffs contention. Something has happened down there. I'm not sure what. We'll have to keep an eye on it and look back on the incident. But it's currently Howard, Chapman and Lawler, the top 4 behind Lawford. Then it's Ferguson. Of course, Dodds and then Ando as well. But this is a really weird moment for these guys down there. So they're 3 wide in the background. You can see Howard, Chapman and Lawler. So Dodds misses the brake zone completely. Goes off the track. And then as Anderson comes in, he just loops it. He did exactly what he did in qualifying. Spun it round on his own and had to get going once again. So Lawford in control into the stadium. And then it's Howard, Chapman, Lawler. Ferguson's run it wide and gone round. Anderson's off the road as well. So it's a tough night already for these playoff drivers. And this is what's happened to Ferguson down on the entry into the stadium. Under brakes, got the car pulled up, but I think he just carried a little bit too much speed over the curb. Round she went. And then watch that. Ando just went way wide into the barrier. Dodds followed him as well. These cars are not helping them whatsoever. Try and traverse this circuit. Jamie Davis in the chat with us, Go Project 36. He's giving the love to his team out there. Fastest lap of the race last time by for Angus Lawford, a 132.23 was the previous best time in the session. The gap is now starting to build as well for these drivers. Howard, Chapman, Lawler, Dodds, Anderson, Ferguson. And behind the race leader right now, Lawler is all over Chapman. And they're putting the pressure here on Howard as they run it round the back part of the circuit up towards turn 9 and 10. And the entry into the stadium section. So there's big gaps already built here. Dodds, Anderson and Ferguson are all the way down the bottom of the field. And for drivers like Dodds, Anderson and Ferguson, they needed a stage win tonight. They really need a stage win. Get some bonus points to really elevate them going into the next part of the season. Elevate them before the points get reset to 2,000. And they're all at a line astern. Anderson has gone round again in the stadium section. And this here looks to be another self-made moment for the 58 car. It is crashing and burning right now down there. He's run it way wide. 2 laps in a row. I think he's just trying to carry too much speed through the stadium. So Chapman and Lawler battle away for P3 at the moment. Lawler is doing a good enough job here to be in the Final 4. Howard would be situated in the Final 4 as well, being in this position. Dodds will be knocked out. Anderson will be knocked down. Of course, Ferguson would also be knocked down as well. So for Howard, this is helping him immensely. if Lawler were to drop behind Dodds, they would actually swap because of the points differential. They would actually swap positions. So this is a wild moment for some of these drivers. Others obviously are reaping benefits here. Well, Chapman's, of course, he's 5 points above 1,500, so it means that Howard only gaining 1 point over, and it's not going to make much difference. As Ferguson has gone off the road again, and this time it is down at the national portion of the circuit. So it's as he came round the fast right-hander, he's just copped the bump, looped it round, and off onto the Grand Prix part of the circuit he's gone. So it is struggle street back there at the moment. 10 to go in the stage before the allocation of points. It's now 9 to go. The race leader has crossed the start-finish line. And Chapman could be feeling the pressure here from Lawler a little bit. Down towards turn 1 they go. No Camaros in the field tonight. It is all Mustang and Toyota. And the Mustang has been the dominant force this season, it must be said. They run through the first chicane. Anderson is now in pit lane. So Anderson, an early stop. Just trying to maybe get a bit of fuel in this car. He's got to try and go for a race win here tonight if he wants to make the playoffs. That's what he's really got to aim for now. That's got to be the planned strategy on board that 58 car. So into pit lane he is. And the race leader is in a dominant position. Howard, 2.5 seconds ahead of Kurt Chapman, who has got David Lawler all over his ginger right now at the back end of the circuit. As they race round towards 8 laps to go in the stage. Ferguson has gone off track again further back in the field, so his woes continue, and the opportunity for him to make the playoffs, well, they are going out the window super quickly at this point. Anderson has now exited pit lane, by the way. He is about a minute 19 back off the race, or about a minute 14, sorry, off the race leader. He's actually just coming through turn 1, 2, and 3. And not far behind is Angus Lawford. So the problem now for Anderson is if he goes a lap down. That is crucial to his night and his championship hopes, that he remains on the lead lap of this race. That is the big test and the big challenge. Chapman, though, has got big pressure from Lawler, who is situated right on him, continues to put pressure down towards turn 4, sorry. The right-hander under brakes on the inside. Lawler's got such a good line through here. He looks super comfortable, and it shows that he's done the practice over the season to get prepared for this race. And that's the difference to those who may just be here for the fun and be here to see what they can do with a minimal practice, and the difference to them those who have been putting in the preparation, putting in the practice all season long, and preparing for the long term, preparing for the future. Getting prepared for this race tonight was crucial for some drivers, making sure they could make the top 4 in the championship leading into the final round at Talladega. That is why performing tonight is the most crucial point that they could put forward for themselves. Exiting the stadium section now. Lawler and Chapman continue along, but Lawler's just unable to put any pressure on him. Lawford's now gotten past Anderson, who's been around again in the stadium section, by the way. So it is struggle street for Anderson tonight. Lawford is well and truly ahead of Howard. Howard won't really mind, though. He's currently in a playoff position of making the top 4 in the championship. Chapman is still under this pressure point of David Lawler. Harry Dodds is all on his lonesome. So is Jordan Ferguson. And of course, Anderson has already been through pit lane. He's in a similar boat as well. So we saw Rhiannon in the chat, Ginger, I hardly know her. Oh, I don't know a Ginger either, actually. It's kind of a name that's gone out of practice, more so in the last few decades, as Anderson is off the road again in his Heartbreak Hotel at this point now for Anderson. really struggling out there. Ran wide, tried to catch, and then bang, straight in the wall. And that is just a tough night on the road for the 58. What more could you do? Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good night for him. It's really unfortunate for Jack Oz. Very unfortunate. Very likely playoffs are now gone for him, as he has been parked up on the back end of the circuit. And we'll see here. This could be a caution, actually, if one could be thrown. He's towed back to pit lane, so that there is his night done and dusted. Might just let him cool off for a little bit before we bring him in for a chat, possibly. Dodds is in pit lane now as well. Oh, he's in on his own. Hello,
I just wanted to say that I think Jordan might have left a drop link loose in my car or something today.
Yeah, it was looking a bit loose, I must say.
It may have expired, so it's in the lane, towing for now.
Well, do you want to sit here for a bit and call the race with me while we sit here?
Nah, it's all right. I'm just thought I'd come in and update you. And,
well, I was gonna wait. I didn't know if you might have been steaming
that,
or something like that. I was actually gonna let you sit there for a bit and then track you in a bit later, but you've come in on your own, so.
No, I don't mind.
You know, I think
it is what it is.
Unless,
at the end of the
unless Lawler and Dodds both have obviously a poor run to the end and they don't score at all, it's probably playoffs gone at the moment. But it might mean that if Jordan can make it, there could be a support network for him next week at Talladega if you're racing.
Oh, he's not getting support from me.
He's gonna get report from
If
me.
anything, Jordan's gonna get some, like the complete opposite of support.
So, well, do you reckon he's
But,
going to try and go long here, maybe skip the end? Because he came back in on lap 3 earlier on.
So he's still going to have
before
to
the
come
race
back
got
in.
started. Oh, okay. I know he'll have to come back in at some point, but I didn't know if he might skip coming in, stay out to the end of the stage, see what he can get in terms of track position. Because that might be his only hope at the moment. Is track
He
position.
might do. But yeah, I think both of us going into this race, we just wanted to have some fun, and I don't think I've driven this track since like the day it came out, so I wasn't expecting anything. Just more focusing on today being my last day at work, so.
Well, I suppose it would have been nice to have topped it off with maybe a top 4 spot in the championship before next week, but no, I mean I suppose it's, you know, I labelled it as Heartbreak Hotel, but it doesn't really sound like it's Heartbreak Hotel at the moment. It sounds like it's a pit lane pash for yourself, although you've just exited pit lane, so maybe not.
Yeah, I'm spinning out in the Thingo section at the moment, stadium section.
Yeah.
So
Really, my cat also
it is what it
has
is.
opinions on that, Jack. Apparently,
Yeah.
he expected better of you. No, I'm not saying that. He's just said that to me. So, he has high expectations, apparently. Oh, Jordan's just gone off as well. So, well, that's that. So, well, at this stage,
I want to thank Doddsy. though. I do want to thank Doddsy for spinning out in sympathy.
Well, I saw him go
When
off
I,
at turn
when I
1, and I
lost my
thought,
motor.
well, that's peak chaos right there. And then you followed him, and I thought, well,
Yep.
there
Yep.
goes-
I was watching him, and I'm like, there goes Doddsy, and then I've spun out, and I'm like, God damn it!
You got a little bit overzealous there, but well, Doddsy isn't currently
I
in a
was
playoff position.
too busy
either.
watching him and not the road.
Yeah, that's true. Got to keep an eye on the road and not watch people crashing around you. It's important to stay focused. So, but Dodds isn't in a playoff position right now, anyhow. So that's fine for him. Well, fine for the top 4 at the moment. But well, I'll let you get back to it, Jack Oz. Towards the end of the stage. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 20 on laps. Something may happen. They may blow up, and he may come back in the race. Who knows?
Oh, good. I think I'm only a lap or 2 down anyway, so anything could happen. But at the end of the day, I'm just turning laps for the fun of it, and I think Jordan is as well. Don't think Jordan's actually driven into you yet, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see who finishes in the top 4. It's been a good season so far. I've just spun it again.
It's been a great season, and we're excited for next season. Now, do have to ask: are we going to maybe? Would you like me to announce the tracks we have for next season tonight, or would you like me to wait until next week?
I don't mind either way. So it's up to you.
Alright, I suppose if I run out of something to talk about, I'll talk about the calendar next season and about when sign-ups will go up for next season. So, also, the other point...
I doubt that you'll run out of anything to talk about when I'm giving the crowd in the stadium section a good smoke show every lap.
I was about to say, you are getting labelled the Beyblade at the moment, so...
I've been playing too much Dirt 3. I've been doing too much Gymkhana, so I'm just one for doing donuts at the moment.
Well, I'll let you get back to your donuts. Best of luck throughout the rest. We'll see if you get anything out of this race or if it's going to be a donut fest for you.
Thanks, Bubs.
Jack Anderson there out of this race, contention for the moment at least, after early dramas for himself. Angus Lawford at the moment, P1 on the road, ahead of Logan Howard at this stage. David Lawler, Kurt Chapman make up the top 4, currently all situated in a playoff position. It's 2 laps to go till the end of the stage here tonight. Harry Dodd sits P5 ahead of Jordan Ferguson, who's a lap down, and Jack Anderson, who's unfortunately 2 laps down on the race leader at this stage in time. It's been an intense first few laps for those drivers who were hopeful to get into the top 4. It's been better for the likes of Howard, who was obviously seated towards the back end of the top 7, to jump 2 or 3 of those drivers at this point and be sitting in a playoff position at this stage of the race. It is a huge accomplishment for him to try and get there. Remembering that Dodd sat on 1,501 points coming into this race, Howard sat on 1,500 total. Right now, P2 on the road. Logan Howard is about to receive 9 points in the stage. If he can remain where he is, that'll take him up to 1,509 points. Harry Dodds, being in P5, is about to get 6 points, which will take him up to 1,507. There's going to be a 2-point difference between Howard and Dodds. If Dodds wants to stay and get into the playoffs, he has to beat Howard by 3 positions or win the race and have Howard finish P2. That is what Harry Dodds needs at the end of the stage if that is going to happen. 1 to go until the stage end. Oh, now it is the stage end. Sorry, I do apologise. So I was right earlier when I said lap 14. I thought I might have been a bit overzealous. So stage has ended. So points are now going to get allocated at the end of this lap. So Logan Howard's about to get 9 points. He needs to stay in P2. He cannot pit yet. Harry Dodds is about to get P5 worth of points, which is worth 6. So it's going to be 1,509 plays 1,507. David Lawler's about to get 8 points. He came into start on 1,502, so he's about to go up to 1,510. So he's going to be 1 point ahead of Howard. Chapman is getting 7 points. He's going to go up to 1,513. Lawford goes up to 1,532, which means Angus Lawford is locked into Talladega at this stage. If he gets the points for the win in the stage, he will be at Dega as a playoff driver. That was the sort of less pressure he had on himself tonight to perform. Ferguson, well, he's going to get 6 place points. That'll take him up to 1,505. Anderson is getting 7th place points, which is 4, so he's going to go up to 1,505 as well. So it's tight. It is tight. The opportunity now for both of them to make the top 4, or for either of them to make the top 4, they have to beat Logan Howard by 5 positions in this race. So pretty much they need Logan Howard to now come plumb last, and they need to finish P2 as the pace car now comes out. So that is the test now for Anderson and Ferguson. They've got to finish P2 or better, and Howard needs to finish at the back of the field. For and then comparatively to Dodds, it's obviously a bit better. They only need to beat Dodds by 3 positions, and they can jump Dodds. So it's going to be 3 and 5. So as long as they finish P2 and Dodds is P4 or below, Anderson or Ferguson could still make the playoffs for next week. But it is about to be an almighty uphill battle, because Ferguson's about to get his lucky dog, so he'll get back onto the lead lap. Anderson will not. He will remain 2 laps down. Anderson is going to need 2 cautions to get that car back on the lead lap, and that, it almost seems improbable, doesn't it? Almost even impossible as well for that car to still make the playoffs after tonight. It is a Mount Everest level uphill climb for him, not likely to happen, and one in which he may not be able to overcome. When we think about the points differentials, 4 points between Howard and Chapman now. So, 3 points between Chapman and Lawler. So Lawler could still jump Chapman to P3. He'd have to beat him by 4 points though, 4 positions. So this is where the balancing act comes into it, of understanding where you need to finish compared to your competitors. It's a bit hard, obviously, when there's only 7 cars in the field, when there's not more and there's not more opportunity for points to be lost. It means it's much tighter margins, and we can write people off when it comes to, obviously, the first stage ending. So we can also write people on. So we can write Angus Lawford's name down for next week at Talladega. Logan Howard, David Lawler, Kurt Chapman, Harry Dodds, they're all still in close contention with each other. Ferguson and Anderson have now got an outside chance, but the ability for them to do it being a lap or 2 down is, I mean, it almost makes it seem null and void, doesn't it? It almost makes it seem impossible for them to get up there with so little laps left in this race. Now, I know that anything can happen and anyone can end up back in pit lane, but it's about to get interesting. Realistically, with Lawford locked in, if you're Project 36, you've got to favour Dodds and get Dodds to the front of the field if you want 3 cars in the 4. And that's exactly what's about to happen. So Dodds is going to get the track position behind the pace car, and he is staying out. It's a very interesting strategy call from that team. Now, can he make it home with that strategy? I'm not sure. But it's a strategy that's got to try and work for them. They need Dodds. They need Dodds ahead of Howard. That's what they need. Oh, and David Lawler and Howard and Lawford have all jumped their boxes. Oh my God. That is huge. That is massive. Lawler's also jumped. Chapman's gone through. Ferguson's gone through. They've all gone too far. All of them have gone too far. My Lord, it's chaos in pit lane. Howard has jumped. Lawford and Lawler in pit. Ferguson's come back out on the lead lap. So he won't get his... Oh, will he get his... No, he will get his wave around because he's a lap down on Dodds and Chapman. But Chapman has come out behind Harry Dodds due to a simple pit stop mistake from Lawler and Lawford. It is a crucial mistake from them. My God. And they're now separated by 2 cars to Harry Dodds, who has got no protection behind him to let him run away from Kurt Chapman and Logan Howard. This is big. This is big for this race. This really, really is. So, Ferguson's now back on the lead lap. He obviously hasn't gained anything over either of them because he was a lap down. Wow. Wow, wow, wait. No crew standing in pit lane. Oh my God. It is chaos mode. It is chaos mode tonight at Autodromo Jimenez Rodriguez in the second to last round of the season, in the second round of the playoffs, where you need to be on the dial to absolute perfection. Oh my God. And this now, I mean, if that's going to happen to those guys, who else can mistakes like that affect? Or what else can go on in this race for those sorts of mistakes? Could they make on-track mistakes? Could they let it get to them at this point? For Lawford, it doesn't really matter. He's into Talladega at this point mathematically. I don't even think there's a mathematical chance that he gets knocked out of the 4. There wouldn't be, because there's more than 10 points between him and P4. So he is between him and P5, so he's well locked in now. So for Lawford, it doesn't matter. He now has to play the support category to Lawler and Dodds to get them into the playoffs. So to think about the quick math for a moment here. So Chapman's on 1,513 points. Howard is on 1,009 points. Dodds is on 1,007 points. David Lawler is on 1,010 points. Those 4 names. Dodds, out of all 4 of them, is outside of the top 4 at the moment. Lawler and Howard separated by 1 point. Dodds has got to beat Howard by 2 points to get himself into the playoffs. A race win will do it. A race win will get him there. If he drops to P2 and lets Chapman past, all Lawler has to do is hold off Howard and keep him behind him. So the optimal strategy right now is either support Dodds to a race win, or support him to a P2 where you don't let Howard get to P3. If Howard finishes P3 with Dodds off of the top spot, Dodds cannot make the top 4 and cannot make the playoffs final round as a competitor within the playoffs. This is wild. It's wild mathematics. It's a wild scenario for these drivers to be in. There's the outside factor of Jordan Ferguson, who's paying 100 to 1 to make the final 4 next week, because he's got to try and get that car up to P1 and pretty much win this race. That's what he needs, realistically speaking. This is going to be super tight. It's going to be super tough. And there is about to be 14 laps of intense running around Autodromo Hermanes Rodriguez to determine the final 4 outside of the Super 7. It is crazy how these things can come down to it. Come down to simple mistakes like that too, or how it can be reshuffled like this. And for Dodds, he will be feeling the pressure right now. He'll be feeling the pressure at a maximum. Chapman will have less pressure. He's fine. He's up in P2. He's okay. He can give up some points to Harry Dodds. He's got 6 points between him and Dodds, remember. So Chapman is in a wonderful position right now and not currently at risk of getting knocked out. So this is about to be lit up to its pulsating max. Which 4 are going to walk out of Mexico City tonight, say vamos, and go on to the final 4? The questions are about to be answered. My face is in the palm of my hands, wondering who it's going to be. Green flag at Mexico City once again as we scream up towards turn 1. We can see already Dodds went defensive. Howard's trying to get that car into P2. He needs it up there if he wants to make the final 4. Lawler's currently P4 ahead of Lawford right now. And Chapman sitting in P2, sitting pretty at the moment. Dodds leads him down towards 4. Oh, big mistake from Howard. That drops him back to P4 now, into the clutches of Angus Lawford. If Lawford knocks him out of the top 4, Howard will not make the playoffs. It'll be Dodd's position to grab as Lawler makes a mistake and gets a massive tank slapper. Crosses the circuit, has to let Lawford through. That's now going to drop Lawler out of contention. So Lawler's now out of the top 4. But you'd imagine that Lawford will give him the position if it really has to come to it, to give Lawler the betterment of positioning ahead of Logan Howard. As Anderson and Ferguson have gone off back in the stadium section as well. So, Dodds is now being put under pressure here from Kurt Chapman. As they run down the straight. 13 laps to go. Is it going to be the unlucky 13 or is it going to be lucky for one of these drivers? Angus Lawford is locked in. Here comes Chapman down the inside of Dodds. Not much he can do to defend this, but he'll try and run it side by side up towards turn 2. Watch Dodds for the dive. Chapo runs into the lead. Dodds is now in a knockout blow position possibly, because he's now being put under pressure by Logan Howard in P3. This would not be enough to jump Howard. It would be enough to jump his teammate David Lawler into the top 4. This is wild stuff, but it's a 1-on-3 scenario. What more can Howard do to try and survive this? Because he's got Dodds trying to make the 4, Lawford who's already locked in, and then Lawler who's trying to make the 4 as well. All whilst he's trying to do the same thing. And it's the pack mentality and the pack tactics of Project 36 that are trying to drop him out of position as through comes Lawford on Howard into the stadium section. Howard has to fight it. Into the tightening left-hander, he knocks Lawford wide. That promotes Lawler up, but it doesn't help Howard. It doesn't help Howard. What it does do is it now means that Harry Dodds would still be outside the top 4. And what this battling's done is it's now allowed Kurt Chapman to run away. So in terms of the quick mathematics right now, Harry Dodds will be gaining 1 point on Logan Howard, not enough to pass Howard. So we'll take it from the perspective of how many points differences there are between each position. So let's say where they currently are, Dodds would be getting 4 points. He would go up to 1,011. Let's say Howard goes up 3 points. That's 1,012. 2 points difference. A 1 point difference, sorry. Lawler would be getting 2 points. Would also be on 1,012. Lawford is already locked into this position. Chapman currently would also be locked in. So Dodds would be knocked out and not in the final 4. So this is where Struggle Street begins. So Dodds is trying to goat Howard into running wide to get Lawler through. As Howard down the inside of the left-hander gives a little knock on there to Dodds. And this is now getting stuff. It's bumper car stuff through the stadium. As Dodds has now got Lawler on his outside. So Dodds now certainly would be out of the 4. He's got to beat Logan Howard in this race. He cannot let the 112 beat him. It's 11 laps to go. He's given in to letting Lawler past him. And with Lawford hanging back, he needs something of a miracle. He needs something of a miracle to get in the final 4 as Dodds and Lawler have gone round down at turn 1-2. Both of them turned around. Anderson, oh, something has happened to his car. That thing is completely cooked. So let's watch these back. There's big incidents happening here. He's just been absolutely clobbered by Ferguson down the straight, and that car is not healthy. And then the synchronized spinning efforts of Project 36. Get him in the Olympics next year. It's a gold medal performance in terms of synchronized spinning. Look at this. Round she goes. And that there is heartbreak for Harry Dodds. because now he is out of playoff contention. Harry Dodds needs his teammate Angus Lawford. A team that spins together stays together. That's exactly right. Oh! Lawford tried to go past Howard, and they've had it coming together, and here comes Lawler and Dodds. What the hell has happened there? That was very weird. What has happened with this moment? So, oh, okay, so we got loose. Lawford's come through, he's rejoined the track, and he's actually made contact with Lawford. So in that scenario, I think the onus would almost have to go to Howard there because he was a rejoining car, but it's a really loose car at the moment. Lawler is currently past him. I mean, there wasn't much more Lawford could do. He was going for the overtake, which he has every right to do, and Howard just tried to rejoin it, but they both came together. Possibly a racing incident, I don't know, but it's a tough moment for them. So now that Dodds is past Howard, he needs one more car between him and Logan Howard to get in the top 4. So right now, Dodds would need Lawler to give up the position to him and give him P2 on the road with 10 laps left to run of Mexico City. This is an ever-evolving storyline, my God. Ever-evolving. If you couldn't have thought of pressure, if you couldn't have thought of high-stakes stuff, if you never thought we could possibly have it where it is coming down to the wire week in and week out for who can battle just for the opportunity at a championship, well, welcome to the playoff system. This is why I love the playoff system and how this can bring anyone into it, and it makes a race out of everything. That's what we've got right now. We've got a race out of everything for these guys here tonight. So Howard at the moment, tucked up behind Harry Dodds. There's not much more Howard can do. Realistically, if he sits here behind Dodds, he's still passing him he's still staying ahead of him in the top 4. So for Dodds, he needs Lawler to hang back and let him pass, or he needs Lawford to get past Howard. That's what Doddsy needs right now, and that's where the team tactics come into it, and that's where the team game comes into it as well, and that's why it's good to have a teammate out there or a few, because that is going to help support you throughout the rest of the race, throughout the rest of the season, and when it matters most, they're going to be able to give you a hand when you really, really need them. We've got 9 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to be 8 laps to go when Kurt Chapman crosses the line. We're going to take this chance, very small opportunity, to go to a quick ad break, brought to you by VRS and iRacing. Don't go anywhere. There's more to come from the second to last round of the season. Could Harry Dodds or Logan Howard sneak their way into the top 4 to get into the final 4 of the playoffs? With 8 laps to go, anything can happen the way they're racing. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very soon after these short messages from VRS and iRacing.
These are the VRS Dark Force Pro pedals. So it's a high-end product, stainless steel construction with an industrial aesthetic. Very, very adjustable. All 3 pedals, the pedal faces in terms of height, depth, angle are fully adjustable, and overall pedal angle is also adjustable. Now, if we look at the throttle pedal first, we have quite a unique design here. So we have a rodless spring, which doesn't quite look right to the eye, but functionally performs extremely well. Absolutely no friction whatsoever, so really nice smooth response. And we have a lot of adjustability here in terms of initial starting force, preload, and also overall force and pedal travel. So if we move on to the brake, we have similar levels of adjustability, a very high-end, heavy-duty construction. We have the blue spring on here at the moment, which tolerates a 65 kilogram maximum force. Also supplied is the optional red spring, which doubles that to 130 kilograms. These are linear springs, which is not normally how a real-life brake pedal feels. So we have this very clever mechanism on the back here, which basically turns that into a progressive, more realistic feeling, which gives you quite a decent bit of travel for low-level trail braking, and then more of a ramp up when you're really braking much harder. And we have this tie rod at the top, which is fully adjustable, along with preload, so you can really fine-tune that exact force shape to your preference. On the clutch, we have a similar level of adjustability in terms of pedal face and also the shape of the curve. So we try to emulate a clutch plate, which is stiff initially and then flattens out as the clutch gives way. So that's emulated here with a small amount of adjustability, including overall travel as well. So we're very happy with this product, and we hope you are too.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit IRacing.com.
Welcome back to the IRWC Rod Knot Cup. How things can change only over a couple of moments. 6 laps to go here. And live on the Infinity Broadcasting Networks. Hamish Munro here with you once again out at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. If you're watching with us or you've just joined, first hit that like button and subscribe to the bell icon too so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. We're about to tick over 260 subscribers, so we appreciate all the support we've been getting from everybody out there. And B, it has been an ever-changing scenario now through that short little ad break. As we now see, Harry Dodds has now jumped Logan Howard and Angus Lawford into P3. So as we currently stand, if we do the quick maths, so it was 1,000 and so if we do the 4-3-2-1 strat again, so Howard only be getting 1 point. He'd be going up to 1,210, being stuck behind Lawford right now. Dodds would be going up to 1,210 as well. He would be equal points with Logan Howard. So Harry Dodds needs his teammate David Lawler to get him past. He needs to get past David Lawler right now if Harry Dodds has any hope of joining the fray for the top 4. Now, equal on points, well, we'll have to decide how that scenario is figured out. Probably go back to count back somehow throughout the season. But it would be an up in the air scenario. It'd be a hands up in the air. Be like, well, who's going to get it? If Logan Howard gets past Lawford, which he's trying to do right now, and through he goes. Logan Howard into P4, gets past Angus Lawford. Well, now it means Dodds would get knocked out. So this is where it's becoming a bit of struggle street for them. Let's watch this back. I'm not sure if there was contact or not. Let's see if we can get a better angle of it. And we might have to go maybe a bit of a chopper cam or a rear chase because, oh, it's very hard to tell. Very, very hard to tell. Let's see what we can do here for everyone. And you know what? Let's go here. Right. So let's watch this back. Was contact made, or was this over the curb? Oh, he did it to himself over the curb. Lawford got loose on the curb and put the car in the wall. Let's watch this back again. So right now we're not seeing any contact from them. He's nowhere near close enough. Off the curb he hops. Car gets loose on the gas. Tries to catch it. And into the wall goes Lawford. A very minuscule mistake with 4 to go as Chapman and David Lawler has gone wide at turn 1. That will be a slowdown, so Chapman will take back the lead. A very small mistake from Lawford has given Logan Howard the position he needs to try and make the final 4 next week. This is exciting stuff to the very end, to the dying embers of this race and to the dying embers of this championship. And now Howard is on the back of Dodds and ready to put the pressure on him. We confirm there was no contact. It was all on Lawford hopping the curb. So Howard is putting max pressure on Harry Dodds here. He's got to be careful. He keeps himself in it. A wide run from Dodds, though, is not going to help him. He's trying to keep the foot into it. Here comes Logan Howard. He wants an outside run to seal the deal on Dodds. Can he get the run into the stadium? Takes the wide berth. Gets hugged right on the inside by Dodds. Through comes Howard. Straight into position. But he's got to try and get the car back on the road. He does. And it's still a dogfight here. For P3 on the road. Howard sneaks on by at the exit of the stadium. And Howard is now locked himself in for a possible playoff position. What Dodds needs now is the same scenario 5 laps ago to happen. He needs himself and he needs Lawford to get past Howard here. That's the scenario they sit in. If you're David Lawler, you're already in position. You're already in a positive spot here. I know he wants to try and beat Logan Howard. I know he'll be wanting to get the race win. But if Dodds and Lawford get by Howard here, he needs to let Dodds pass if that's what Project 36 want for next week at Dago. If they want 3 cars in the championship dogfight, there's going to need to be some self-sacrifice from David Lawler up the road in P2 right now. There are 3 laps to go, but at this stage it wouldn't even matter if Lawler did it. Dodds and Lawford need to try and get past Howard if that's what they want. What Howard needs to do is he needs to hold them back as much as possible. It's a David versus Goliath scenario, because in this David versus Goliath scenario, it's a 1v3 to make sure that you are the one to jump up to the now open position in the top 4, thanks to Jack Anderson dropping out of this race and dropping out of the race for the playoffs. We can see that Lawler is just starting to back up with 2 laps to go. If Project 36 want these 3 cars, they need Lawford now to try and run Howard wide to get Dodds past him, and then he's got to try and get by Lawler as well. This is going to be such a tough task to the end for the team tactics to be played. It's such a tough task for Logan Howard to remain in the top 4 where he now currently sits. Here comes Angus Lawford on the inside down at turn 1. Can he try and get past Howard? Howard's got a massive tank slapper though, and Dodds has come past. Has Logan Howard thrown it away? Has Logan Howard thrown it away with 2 laps to go and now 6 seconds on the clock as Dodds goes through to P3. He still needs to get past Lawler to put the nail in the coffin and lock in the playoff spot. Dodds needs P2 if Howard is going to finish P5. So this team has got to try and strategize around this now to get Dodds past Lawler to knock out Logan Howard. Otherwise, they're equal on points. That is the opposite end of the scale now, is Dodds and Howard are equal on points. Which one does it favour? Well, maybe then we have to go back to bonus points, I'm not sure, but that's a conversation for the back end. But it's about to be the white flag. Kurt Chapman's got a 6-second gap over David Lawler. David Lawler has got a 1.8-second gap back to Harry Dodds. Dodds has, of course, got his teammate right behind him. And Logan Howard, I think, has just made a mistake. And that there has ended the playoffs run of Logan Howard, unfortunately for Logan. Commiserations, Logan. It was a fantastic racing effort tonight. You drove your heart out trying to make the top 4 in a 1v3 battle against a whole team of cars. no matter the small mistake that knocked you out of the 4, you should hold your head up high, because that was an incredible drive. And to stay in it and battle them to the very end, hats off to you, sir. Fantastic job. And I know it's going to be a tough pill to swallow, but it's a fantastic job that you pulled. David Lawler, though, is running it wide. Down at turn 4. This will let Dodds through. So Dodds goes through. So now Dodds sits in the position to lock himself into the playoffs next week. So the irony of all of this is Kurt Chapman, who's a former Project 36 driver, is in the playoffs. Now with Dodds, Lawler, and Lawford, it's an all Project 36 or former Project 36 top 4 at this stage. But through the stadium section comes Kurt Chapman, who took the race lead after the pit stop mishaps of David Lawler, Angus Lawford, and Logan Howard. And around the final corner he'll come. And Kurt Chapman will take home the race win at Autodromo Hermanes Rodriguez, ahead of Harry Dodds, David Lawler, and Angus Lawford, who will lock themselves into the playoffs for Talladega. Commiserations go to Logan Howard, who just misses out after the uphill battle that he had. He'll finish out a P5. Ferguson and Anderson will never make the end. So, what a race it was. What a championship-changing atmosphere it has been tonight. And what we have had is a decider in the most semi-final of manners. It now sees Dodds into the top 4, Lawler and Lawford alongside him, and Kurt Chapman as well. So the defending champion will take the number 1 into Talladega, where they're all going to be equal on 2,000 points, in the hopes that he can win the championship next week. It is a massive scenario for these drivers. It's a massive scenario for this championship as well, in determining which of them be the ones to lift the trophy at the end of the season. Big championship, big night. Big run home for everyone out there. And big run home for the championship contenders as well. And as we said, the results, it's Chapman to Dodds to Lawler to Lawford to Howard to Ferguson to Anderson in the end. I don't know. I suppose we could drag Kurt in and have a chat to him. He's up just above me, so we can drag him in. Hello, Kurt. Welcome in. Hello. That there, sir, is a race win for yourself here tonight. Playoffs locked in, of course, for next week. And when points are going to be reset to 2,000, I believe across all 4 of you, I believe that's what me and Jack discussed. It's going to be an uphill battle for you next week with 3 Project 36 cars in the playoffs with you.
Yeah, it'll be a tough one, that's for sure.
Well,
but we're at a super speedway next week, aren't we?
We are indeed. We're out at Talladega, so that's going to be it's going to be whoever can win it on the day is pretty much going to determine it. Really, I mean, isn't it ironic that you have to come up against the 3 guys who were formerly only a season ago your teammates as you try to retain the championship?
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of ironic, but yeah, things happen, and yeah, we'll just see what happens and take it however it happens.
I suppose all you can do, you've had a great run this season. Dega next week, it's just going to be a show up, see what happens, and see if you can make it 2 in a row.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine them not playing the team game and, you know, boxing me out and stuff like that, but I just have to be ready for it and try and counter it.
But they also have to determine, though, which one of them is going to win. That's the thing. If they're equal on points, there's no favoritism. They're going to be racing themselves, and they're going to have to be careful they don't overindulge themselves and get caught up with the 3 of them battling, and you just sneak on by and you take home the win. I mean, that's the scenario that's at play for them as well.
Yeah, well, if points played a part and season results played a part in the final race, I think I know who'd win.
Well, they probably favour Angus because of his performances, but you know, I think all three of them should have to
He
battle
has
it.
been very strong this
Oh,
season.
He has, but I think all three of them should have to go out there and fight for it. I think they should just...
Bit of a battle royale.
Yeah, just, you know, Dayglow rules. Just whoever comes out on top wins the title. You all got here. See who comes out on top, you know. Angus can let his performances speak for himself. Dodsey can try and do the unthinkable and win an Oval Series. And David can pull off an all-time, you know, wingman win of the season, and you could sneak on by and get 2 in a row. I mean, anything can happen between the 4 of you.
Yeah, that's very true. But I think I've got a couple of people in my corner that aren't in the finals. So we'll just work out how they want to play the game, and I'll just play the game accordingly. And yeah.
Well, we'll see how the game's played next week out at Talladega. Kurt, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I'll give a shout out to Infinity Broadcasting for broadcasting the event, and IRWC for putting it on.
Thank you so much, Kurt. Best of luck next week out at Talladega, where you'll try to go 2 championships in a row here in the Rod Knott Cup. Congratulations on the success and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Mr. Dodds, in what was a very hairy scenario for yourself, I'm just assuming that you were horny and confused across that final lap as to how everything came about. That was one of the most... My hands were in my face was in my hands multiple times watching that battle commence between Logan, who undoubtedly had the most unfair of battles against him, having to come up against 3 drivers from the same team trying to favour their teammate who is trying to get into the top 4. I mean, I feel for Logan being in that position there. I really do. But you know, obviously you're the one that's come out on top of that. You've gotten your playoff spot for next week. But yeah, I mean, the heart has to go out to him surely for having to fight up against that. And he nearly pipped you as well. He nearly got past you.
Yeah, well, fair credit to him. He did put up a good fight. Like, I was defending with all my life. I had like 7 lap older tyres compared to the rest of the field. I'm like just going full blown. I'm trying to go all out, like I'm trying to get as much gap as possible. I just couldn't pull away with all that pace I had, and yeah, it's. Gee, I'll tell you what, that stadium section made this car very taily at times, but lucky it held together, and yeah, P2 and yeah, like you said, into the final round of the playoffs.
Well, equal points now, 2,000 points apiece for the 4 of you. Surely it's got to be Dayglow rules for Project 36. Whoever wins on the day comes out on top.
Oh, it'll be what it'll be between the 3 of us. Like, there's obviously going to be no priority favouring for either one of the 3. Really, it's going to whoever's best on the day. We know Angus has been the top gun on ovals all season, so if he's out in front, he's out in front. But we know Talladega is a high speed super speedway circuit, so that might come into my favour since I've done it. Might come into my play a bit since I've done a bit of Daytona in officials. So yeah, that might come back in. Might come back to me a bit. So yeah, we'll see how we go Friday.
Are you worried that all 3 of you might overrun yourselves a little bit, and that could help Kurt in a sense?
Oh, to be honest, I wouldn't know what the plan will be. Like, if it does come down to that, I'd feel pretty shit for the team really, because we've having all 3 of us in the finals, like it sort of does complicate things a bit, like Triple A at the moment having 2 cars going to Adelaide. I think it's next week or whatever. So yeah, hopefully it won't come to that, but yeah, we'll see how we'll see how it all goes.
Now, one final question I have to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your season 4 Porsche Cup sign up, Dodsey?
It'll come to that when the season's over, mate. After Bathurst well, after Bathurst this week, I'll get my sign up in for you. Don't you worry.
Angus signed up, so he's rearing and ready to go. We've got plans for next season. We've got our own little semi-final and grand final scenario. Won't knock anyone out, obviously, but it's just 2 undroppable rounds at the end of the season with Adelaide. What more could you want? I mean, it's going to be so fun to watch all that come together for Porsche's next season across 11 rounds. I mean, that's a spectacle in itself, plus the new Porsche Cup car. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Oh, there's definitely a lot you can't really ask for. Like I'm personally excited for next season with the release of the calendar that you put out, and the new 992 2.2 is going to be quite an interesting car. We'll see what's different compared to the current one, but who knows?
Well, time will tell. But thanks for coming over chat, Doddsy. Really appreciate it. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go tonight?
Big shout first off goes to Brandon and Angus for trying to keep you calm in those last few laps. I know. I think Dave was fuel saving, and to be honest, he's actually pretty exhausted, so they unfortunately couldn't come to the interview. But yeah, full credit to those guys for keeping me calm in those last few laps and helping me get into the playoffs. Big shout out to our sponsors and also the team Project 36, Outlier, Simrigs.com, CC Forged, Cataclysm Computers, and if I roll around in my car to the front bumper, Outlier Speed Company as well, which is our NASCAR sponsor. I think that's how you say it, but I don't. Brandon can correct me on that later.
Well, thank you so much, Doddsy. Best of luck next week at Talladega in the championship fight for the final round of the playoffs. You've done well tonight to get there. We'll see how you go when we're out there at Dega for the final time.
Definitely, mate, and we'll see you tomorrow night for the Porsche Cup Support for Pro Series.
No worries. We'll see you then, matey.
Absolutely.
No worries. Catch you.
Catch you.
Well, Harry Dodd's there. Our final playoffs driver. He said David Lawler obviously wasn't. Was a bit tired at the end of that one, so we can appreciate that one from David. But congratulations to him. Congratulations to Angus Lawford as well. Points have now been reset to 2,000 points apiece for our final 4 leading into next week at Talladega. So any of them can win it on the day. It just matters about who is going to beat who and what sort of strategy is going to be pulled to get them to the best possible position at the end of Talladega next week. It's going to be a long one. 69 nice laps of Dega to come your way next week. You guys don't want to miss it. But they'll bring it into our show here this evening, and it ends to, well, the semi-final of the playoffs. We head into next week for the final. It's a big weekend for us here in the IRWC. As Doddsy said, tomorrow night, 7:15 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time, the VRS Porsche Cup Series will go live from Bathurst at a Mount Panorama as a part of the Pro Series supports, as we will be going racing for 2 25-minute features in the 10th round of Season 3, right before the final round on Monday night. It's the final droppable round tomorrow for Bathurst, so we'll see where the chips lie, who's going to reap the benefits, and who is going to take themselves some solid points into the final round on Monday. Then, Monday night, we go racing once again. Final round of VRS Porsche Cup Series, undroppable round, as we head out to Belle Isle for the final time as the finale round. It is going to be a dogfight to the very end of that series. Next week, we'll be back again for the IRWC Rod Knot Cup out at Talladega for the final round of the playoffs. And it's come down to 4. Which one of the 4 will win? Well, only time will tell. Whether it's Kurt Chapman, Angus Lawford, David Lawler, or Harry Dodds. We will find out when we go racing next time out here in the Rod Knot Cup. Coming up on your weekend too, 9 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, the 9th round of the Racecraft Simulations V8 Veterans Season 25 as it heads out to the Red Bull Ring for what is bound to be a wet and wild affair in the final droppable round of that series. Myself and Brett Fisher in the booth for that one. A big shout out to all of our series sponsors, including our title sponsors, VRS Virtual Racing School over from the Porsche Cup Series, to us here in Infinity Broadcasting. If you want to help support us, hit the like button and subscribe. The bell icon too, so you're notified whenever we go racing on the channel. We're so close to 260 subscribers. We'd so appreciate it if you could help us get there. We'd love to get to 300 by the 31st of December 2025. And you can do just a little bit of help by clicking that subscribe button to help us get to that milestone. Shout out as well to SPP Graphics and Black Art Designs as well for supporting the series. I've been Hamish Munro though. This has been the IRWC Rod Knot Cup from Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. we'll see you guys next week for the final round of the season. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Low side, gunning for a goal. 3 wide deep, heart ice cold. I roll smoke like a tire on fire. Fuel in the blood, born to go higher. Check left, push right, walls close in. Every move tight, plan for the win. Left turn king with the heat train time. When the lights go green, we light the sky. Let's light it up.